Hello, everyone. I'm grateful to welcome everyone here in this meeting. Let me quickly introduce myself as the moderator today. So my name is Alina, and I was born and raised in Germany. And today I have a cooperation with these three other men for this meeting today. So with who are we sitting here? We have Kartik and Adarsh with us, who are the founders of the company Jo&Pepe German Edu Consultant that was founded in April 2021. They are both from India and did their masters in mechanical engineering in Germany. And also with us is our guest of honor today, Sairam Damparala, who is working for Bosch in Germany. He's a global quality coordinator, and he has 9 factories under his supervision. He has been working for Bosch for more than 2 years. But I guess he will tell us a bit more in detail what exactly he's doing at Bosch and what was his career so far. But before we will start with you, Sam, I just want to say a few words as well about the company Jo&Pepe Edu Consultant. As I already said, it was founded in April 2021, and the company just understands the importance of high quality education and the opportunities it can bring. So it is just for people who want to educate themselves well, and maybe you know already that in Germany, the public university don't have tuition fees. So you can find really high quality education for low costs in Germany, but often the process, if you want to study in Germany, maybe you don't even know where to start, like how to apply at university, how to find a flat, what do you need to pay attention on, how to get the visa. So all these questions are answered by Jo&Pepe Edu Consultant, and they help you through the whole process, guide you on your way to study in Germany, and even further, like if you want to stay in Germany, because Germany is like the 4th richest economy in the world, so there are good job opportunities. And if you are interested in this, in all these topics, to find out more about studying in Germany, working in Germany, I really recommend you to follow Jo&Pepe on Instagram, Facebook, like on all social media. And today we will have an insight on someone who came from India, studied in Germany, and is working there now, and who has a successful story to tell. So that's what Jo&Pepe Edu Consultant want for their students as well, like to have a career like you, Sam. So let us know, first of all, like, where do you come from and how did you end up in Germany?
First of all, thanks a lot, Alina, and to the team, for bringing me onto the stage. I'm really honored to be over here and to share my experience coming to Germany and how did I make my career. So to give a kind of a personal background, so I'm also from India, coming from Hyderabad, which is in south part of India, and I'm here in Germany for more than 7 years right now. So after graduating from my bachelor's, then I directly came to Germany to pursue my higher career. So this is a kind of like a short intro. Why did I move, or let's say, why did I come to Germany, or when did I come to Germany, and from which region I'm coming from? So Yeah, more or less, like I would call my second hometown is, let's say, Kleve, which is a part of Germany, where I studied, and I was there for more than 5 years. So it's a kind of a second native for me. Yeah.
All right. So would you like to tell us a bit more about your career? Like, what did you study, and where do you work now?
Okay. So I pursued my bachelor's back in India from JNTU Hyderabad. So I did my career in automobile engineering, just like a passion towards automobile industry. And then after that, I pursued my master's in business administration in Chennai from Annamalai University. And after that, I moved to Germany to pursue more in the area of mechanical engineering. And then I was admitted in the University of Hochschule Rheinwald, which is in Kleve in North Rhine-Westphalia. And I pursued my career in mechanical engineering and also from bionics and biomimetics from the same university. So more or less, I was holding like close to like 3 degrees, 3 master degrees and 1 bachelor degree.
Okay, and what motivated you to come to Germany?
As we all know, Germany is the land of machines, I would say. This is like for sure. Or most of the people, at least I strongly believe, people always have a mentality that Germany, the first thing that pops into my mind is automobile, or let's say the car industry, mechanical industry with the machines and quality of it. So this actually motivated me to pursue my career further in Germany. So I thought before coming to Germany, I also thought about like for different countries, because every country has its own resources and opportunities. I went through every, let's say on my main top list were like few countries like US, UK, Australia, and Germany. Then I did a kind of a research behind, or background research, what would be best for my career. And since I'm a graduate from automobile engineering and passionate for mechanical engineering, so then I chose to move myself to Germany.
Okay, so as I already said in the beginning, now you work at Bosch. Tell us a bit more about your journey there. How did you find that job?
Yeah, so most of the time people think that getting a job, getting an internships in Germany is probably quite hard, or let's say from the perspective of the students, they always, or as a foreigner, yeah, in the very first place, we think that might be getting an opportunity might be very hard, since we are moving to a new land, to a foreign country. But for my journey, I started while I was pursuing my master's in mechanical engineering. Then I was looking for some opportunities around in different platforms, in different companies, to find an internship and also to follow up with my master thesis. Then I found an opportunity in Britain, which is in south part of Germany. So I got an opportunity where I can explore, do my internship. And I was really good, or I was doing good with what I'm doing. And then I got a next opportunity to as a follow-up of my master thesis. So that's how my career started over there. And also in this process, my professors were also helpful during this. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great. Were there any struggles that you were facing when you first came to Germany, like during your first month? Or was there anything that was like new to you that you didn't expect or you weren't prepared for?
Okay, I definitely have a couple of them. Like, for instance, when I was first time here in Germany, I assumed that most of the people will be speaking English. But I found out like this is a kind of a struggle. People will say that kind English, like which means like no English. I'm technically they do speak English, but they're afraid a little bit to speak in English. People might be laughing behind, so that's the reason. But I was surprised to see that, because I was predicting that people will be speaking English and everything would be fine. But it gives me a kind of let's say, not so comfortable. But later, I found out slowly that everyone, or more or less, I would consider like 90% of the people can communicate in English. And also some of the struggles is, let's say, health insurance, which is a kind of a mandatory that once you are here in Germany, you should get your health insurance. And also what surprises me a lot is a lot of paperwork, and most of the students are not really aware of it, how to do that and way to do that. And this is a kind of a confusion plot as well. So these paperwork, insurances, and the language were three things that I would consider, which is a kind of quite surprising for me.
Okay, so it sounds like if you came new to Germany, there were quite some struggles you were facing. So maybe it would have been nice if you had someone at your side who you could have asked, or who could like guide you through these first months to make it a
Back
bit
then there
easier.
was, yeah, that's true. Back then I was quite new. I have no friends, but I'm really I'm a support like Jo&Pepe, like edu consultancies, like who are trying to help. Back when I applied, I was doing all by myself alone to explore, but I really went through hard phases to understand where to find a house, where to get, or what would be the next process to enroll in the university, and what is required for me, since I'm not really aware of all the laws, and Germany is also known for one of its laws, I would say, with a bundle of papers work, and that was quite confusing in the beginning stages. But there was also, let me put it in this way, I also came across a German person who is around about like 96 years old, and he was also actually trying to help students, and he actually helped me a bit to do all kind of paperworks. He also helped me with kind of a translations in the beginning phase.
So you eventually found some kind of a guide who helped you through.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine that like it's probably manageable to go through all of it alone, but I probably things take a lot longer until you understood like how things work, and also you could avoid a lot of mistakes if you just have like someone who knows how things work, and then
and also
so
one other
easier.
thing that really surprises me is about the appointments. So for every small issue, you have to take an appointment, and the appointment is really you have like a long waiting list. That is also a bit surprising for me when I first came to Germany, but quite interesting land, I would say.
That's always interesting to come to a new culture and get to know how things work there.
Yeah.
So as you also studied in India, and then you studied in Germany, like first of all, why did you choose to continue your studies in Germany instead of in India? Maybe let me ask this question first.
Okay, so as mentioned, like Germany is known for its machines, and my technical background is also again coming from let's say mechanical, and subcore is automobile engineering, and that's what drives me to Germany. And I really find a kind of big difference, or in India I have to go through the university and no further activities, like exploring by myself, I would say. But I thought like if I step out of the country, which means I can explore a new language, new culture, and a new education system to understand, and this will enhance my knowledge. So then I came out, or I fly to Germany, as it's a core for mechanical industry. Then I landed up here pursuing.
All right, and could you like point out some of the main differences between India and Germany that you noticed?
There are, I would say, a couple of, definitely a lot. At the very first place, I would say I found out, not just from the education point of view, but in total during the process of my education. I see we have a kind of, let's say, in the very first thing is like in Germany, we have only 3 attempts. So it's like do or die situation, like should graduate or no, should finish an exam within 3 attempts. If 3 attempts is gone, then which means you're no longer eligible to be in the university. And we don't have the same back in India. And also in the second place, what I see is getting to know people from different cultures and different backgrounds. If I still pursue my career or my education, I would say, in India, I would lose this opportunity to see how things goes or how the other cultures looks like. And thirdly, I see in the past, US is called or known for land of opportunities. But since last a decade, I find Germany is actually a hotcake land of opportunities. So this really drives me.
Okay, that maybe already answers a bit my next question. Like, are you happy that you chose to study in Germany? And
Definitely.
if your expectations were met?
My expectations was definitely okay. Let me tell you something. I would say like not met, but definitely it's beyond expectations. Because my prediction before coming here was something else. But after coming to Germany, I see that I learned more than what I thought about. So it's not just limited to some point, but I have to be like focused on different areas to clear a subject, to get a good grade in a subject. So this is what I see. And that's quite interesting and challenging as well. So this is the best part as well, because then you will have the knowledge not just only on one topic, but you also have a knowledge around the surrounding topics, because it's a clubbing of everything. Yeah.
Okay. Were there any obstacles that you faced as a foreigner in Germany that Germans wouldn't face, especially like when it comes to finding a good job according to your profession?
I think for me, at least in my personal case, I would say like more or less everything went in a smooth direction. But I see as Germans definitely have an opportunity to, if they would like to enter a company. As a foreigner in the past, I always have a thinking perspective that getting a job in Germany is quite hard, but I see not really. So once, if you have a kind of an internship, let's say internship is also kind of considered in Germany as a kind of a professional experience, but not completely professional, but doing for a half of the time. So this experience, and together with pursuing my master thesis in a company, this actually added to my working role. So since I have done for a year, my first master thesis, second master thesis, and also my internship all together, then this was a kind of adding a weightage, and this really helped me to get into a job.
Okay, that sounds a bit like a secret tip maybe that you can give out to people?
For sure.
Would you say it like this? Yeah, to do an internship and to gain work experience before actually looking for a proper job, or like...
Yes, yeah, definitely, because to get into a direct job, yeah, because the expectations from the company is always way too high. That's how they're really maintaining their standards and quality in their products. So to reach that, it's always good or advisable to have to do some kind of internships to gain some experience, or to do your bachelor or master thesis in a company. Then you get some experience, and then you go into the next step. Like you are easily to get recruited by the same company to work further in your life. So this is definitely should be, I would say, a kind of a tip, and should be considered, not to neglect.
Yeah, that's a good tip. So if you point that out, then the question arises, is it possible for Indian students to work in Germany alongside their studies? so they could maybe already gain some work experience while studying.
Yeah, there are like there are two different kind of educations. Let me put it. One is called like Dual Hochschule, so where you get paid throughout the year. That you just need to go for 3 months for your for the school, and 3 months that you are working. But in spite of that, for the next 3 years, you keep on you get paid for it. And the other part is something like where you go to the university, maybe after your bachelor's, you're coming abroad to do your higher education. And during this phase, you go to the university, you are learning, and and then you try to look for an opportunity in the form of internships or called as working students. So this is also a kind of support where you can earn money, where you can gain some experience. So you can club this both. And Germany also legally allows you for 120 full days of working in a year. So either you can split it into half, so which means you can work for throughout the year, or maybe you can work for a whole 6 months, gaining a full-time experience. And this will add a value to your resume to find, or let's say it will add to your resume and to get a job.
All right, that's thank you for this information. So then could you maybe tell us a bit more about like what are the requirements to get an internship or a job in Germany as an Indian student?
Well, I would personally recommend all the time to have an eye on LinkedIn and Zinc. So Zinc is also a platform just like LinkedIn but I think the limits are only in Germany. So there are a lot of job postings coming up every day on the daily basis. So you will find a lot of options where relevant to your particular field. For instance, for my particular field, since I was doing mechanical engineering, then I was also looking on LinkedIn and on Zinc. And then I found this an opportunity of internship in Bosch. So where I applied through them or applied through this platform. And then at the end, they called me for the interview. So I would suggest like to go to use these kind of two websites, or apart from this, there is also Indeed, where is also a good platform to find some jobs in internships, or even the work students in the very initial phase.
All right, that's good to know. So yeah, if people want to find a job or an internship, they should just like keep themselves updated on LinkedIn, Xing.
Should always to ensure that they also, one other tip what I could say is like, if they find an opportunity, in most of the times when they post an advert, there's always written like the recruiting person. So the tip would be like the person has to contact the recruiting person, asking them what's their requirement or what are they looking for this advert or for this particular position. And then the recruiter will give some inputs saying that what kind of qualification he's looking for. And then based on that, if it really fits, then you can really apply for it or you can go through it. So always get in contact with the recruiters using both platforms as Zinc and Indeed, not in Zinc and LinkedIn. And also you can find all kind of information about the recruiters, technical and HR recruiters all the time in these adverts. So don't hesitate to get in contact with the people. That's really, really important.
So would you say the current situation in Germany of like regarding job opportunities is quite good?
Yes, definitely. At the moment, since Germany is having a kind of let me put it in this way. So Germany has at the moment, like Germany has a majority of the people who are in rente, like who are getting pensions, or even the people who are in complete young age. So there is really a big gap difference. And to fulfill this, there are a lot of job opportunities. So especially Germany is actually encouraging people to bring as an experts from India, from US, from Australia and UK and whatnot, from different countries in different areas. So they're trying to bring the people and giving them a visa for 3 or 4 years, and then trying to make them work here so that they can build their own careers. So Germany is actually supporting that, and it's a land of opportunities right now.
That sounds great. In the beginning, you were pointing out that you faced some struggles, that people didn't really want to speak English with you. So would you say that it is a disadvantage in finding a good job in Germany if people don't speak German fluently or at all?
No, I would say not in every case. Speaking about my case, my German is still bad, or yeah, though I'm staying here for 7.5 years, I can able to manage a little bit of German, like on a regular basis, but not really good. But that was not a kind of a barrier for me to find a job. And also, as you know, Bosch is a pure German company, and more or less most of the time people working here in Germany for the board are Germans, where my colleagues, everyone are German, and I'm the only international guy sitting in the office. So I clearly see there is definitely a requirement of German to understand, but not necessarily to find a job. So without German as well, you can find a job. And that's how it also happened to me during my interview process. They asked me, like, we see a kind of a lacking or a kind of a drawback that you can't speak German. And but they recruited me looking for quality of my education, and also looking at my skills. So this is what mainly important and should be focused on. Language will always play a second role. And the first role is definitely to improve your skills to crack the interviews.
That's really good to know. So as you were speaking about Bosch already, do you have any tips, like how do they recruit candidates? How could, you already mentioned LinkedIn. Isn't it that's how you found your opportunity there, if I understood it right?
Well, no,
or that was for the internship.
No, for the internship, yes, definitely. I found my internship in LinkedIn, but in the second phase, after finishing my first master thesis, the company was very much satisfied, and then they gave me a second opportunity to do my second master thesis. And during my second master thesis, I applied around about like 3 to 4 applications within the limits of Bosch, and I was called for one of them for the interview. So normally the interview process with the Bosch is they normally try to screen the application. Yeah, for sure. They see the candidates who are closer in the first place, because this will really helps them the person to move in or to take the job very easily. If the person is located in the area somewhere in the north part of Germany, and he has to move in altogether to the south, it really needs some time, and the companies are not so happy with it. So the company in the first place, they always look for the people who are surrounding or nearby. So, and most of the mechanical companies are located in south part of Germany. So I see this is also a kind of a hot cake where to be located. And the Bosch main headquarters is also in south part of Germany. And currently I'm working in Gingen. So this is actually a headquarter for, let's say it's a headquarter for the refrigerators, home refrigerators, where we manufacture with the different brands. During the recruitment process, the first is like, as I mentioned, like it should be like you should be nearby, or at least in the closer by area. And secondly, please ensure that while you're applying that you're really a fit for this. Sometimes we might be lacking out with some skills, then which means though we apply, we might lose the opportunity. So for instance, let me put it in this way. If I'm very good at production, to be a production engineer with the production skills, then definitely I have to consider it. But if I'm trying to apply for in a different field, then definitely I would face a no, a kind of a rejection. But in the worst case scenario, there would be also an opportunity to get into the interview, to express yourself, because sometimes the recruiters are really curious to understand why a person with no background is applying for this job. So this is also a thing should be considered. But from my own point of view and from my own experience, I would say never leave any kind of opportunity. Doesn't matter if you think that you are capable of doing the job, just need to apply. Doesn't matter if you are really relevant or if you really studied the same education. Just apply. Yeah. So Bosch actually encourages as well many foreigners to get in and also to build up their career.
Okay, that's really encouraging. So I would also say, like, join your opinion. Like, it's better to apply instead of not even trying.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe one last question. What is success for you, or how do you define success?
Okay, success is, I would consider success as a kind of a set of targets. So once you set a goal, and once if you reach the goal, then which means you're successful. So till you haven't reached the goal, life is all about like learning process. So you keep learning and doing, and you have an aim, and once you reach the aim or the top pinnacle, then when you're happy with that, then you are successful. And this is how I define successful. And I'm still not successful yet, I believe, which I'm still looking forward for even bigger steps in my career path.
I'm pretty sure you already achieved some of your targets. So you were at least successful in, or you put very high targets then, because what you achieved so far, other people would definitely consider as successful, I guess.
Yeah, it all depends like how you define it. But as I define for myself, my set of target is a bit even bigger. And I still see everything is as a learning path where I face some issues and I keep growing, learn from them and keep growing. And I know one of the main thing I would say is never ever leave any kind of opportunity. Doesn't matter what. If you think that you're capable of doing it, just go for it in any area.
Those are really nice closing words. Thank you so much, Sam, for your time and your motivational insights. I think we learned a lot in this, in this little talk. What I like to summarize it all up, I would say, Germany has a lot of opportunities for studying and working. In the beginning, it might be a bit, there might be some struggles, like to get used to the new culture. So it's very like recommended to have a guide by your side who you can always ask, who knows the processes and everything, just to make it more smooth and easy. And then what I also took with is like that, well, as you were talking about success in the end, I think it's important to set yourself targets. And if you really want to make a career, then you shouldn't like wait until you're done with your studies, but already while you're studying, connect with companies on LinkedIn, Xing, get a job as a student or do an internship, just to be always up to date, already get to know the working life. And like this, you already gain working experience, and you will be ready once you finish your studies to enter the world of the job opportunities in Germany. So yeah, I learned a lot in this talk today, and I hope everyone else who's listening got inspired as well. yeah, I can just really recommend to, if you who is listening now are thinking about studying in Germany or working in Germany, that you contact Jo&Pepe German Edu Consultant, just to round your process up, to ask you questions and have someone by your side to guide you. They really care for their students, and that's why they also made this talk possible today, to show what is possible, and that this is also what they want for their students, to have a career like Sam. And yeah, you can see everything's possible. You don't even need to be fluent in German to work in Germany.
That's completely
And
right.
yeah, so I hope everyone enjoyed the conversation. Thank you again, Sam, for taking your time to speak with us today. And don't forget to follow on social media, Jo&Pepe, to get more information, find out about the next event. Yeah, goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.